El Paso, Texas is a city located on the southwest border of the United States. Across the border from El Paso is the city of Juarez, a once thriving city, now a war zone in the middle of the war on drugs.
Over recent years, violence in Juarez has increased due to the presence of the cartels.
So the violence in Juarez started in 2007, and prior to 2007, the VCF, which you call the Vicente Carrillo Fuentes cartel, pretty much controlled the plaza in Juarez. And the plaza is simply the gateway that they use to bring drugs into the United States. Around 2007, the Sinaloa cartel, which is run by Chapo Guzman, decided they wanted to come up here and have a piece of this pie, the plaza, control of the plaza. They really thought that they were going to be able to come up here and pretty much wipe out the Vicente Carrillo Fuentes cartel real quick, but they found out otherwise. So there's been a big war, and it's lasted a lot longer than it has than they anticipated. Since that time, there's been other factions that have come up here and started getting into war, like the Zetas now are coming up here and they're trying to take over and get some territory. So really what you have now is three different drug cartels fighting for the same turf. And that's why it's gotten so violent. A lot of the murders over there, unfortunately not most of them, but a lot of them are not necessarily connected to the cartels. They're just people taking advantage of the situation.
As seen in the interview, even though not all murders and violence in Juarez are the result of organized crime, the presence of the cartels set the stage for such events to take place. Therefore, we believe that contributing to organized crime will only perpetuate the violence in our sister city of Juarez.
We will now discuss why people participate in organized crime as well as its effect on the community.
It's a financial thing. It's a money thing, you know. So a lot of these people simply join the cartels because there's no other economic opportunities in Juarez for them to get a job or get a career, and they end up joining a cartel or joining some gangs that work for the cartels. So that has a lot to do with it. And a lot of people over there are just trying to make a living and trying to do something constructive, trying to have a legitimate business, and they can't because they're being extorted by the cartels or some gang members.
Due to organized crime, the rate of poverty as well as the rate of people migrating from Juarez has increased.
We will now discuss the possibility of the violence of Juarez spilling over to El Paso.
We thank God we haven't had that much of a spillover. We have had some spillover, and it's been difficult to keep that stuff over there. We don't think that the spillover issue is going to continue, simply because we like to take credit and say, well, you know, we have an excellent sheriff's department, we have an excellent police department, that's why they won't come over here. The reality is that since we're on the border, we have a huge contingent of federal agencies. We have a huge contingent of Border Patrol, a huge contingent of Customs, a huge contingent of FBI and DEA. So when you take all those agencies together, there's just a huge influx of federal and local and state law enforcement here, which are all working together to keep the spillover from occurring.
Because of the constant violence and lack of justice, people have organized to help victims, such as the group Amor por Juarez. An individual could help by donating to organizations dedicated to helping victims, educating themselves and others on the subject, and by raising awareness on the issue.
Over the years, Juarez has turned from being a major city to being known as the murder capital of the world. People from our nation must understand why this is happening in order to help stifle the violence in the city of Juarez. If people took action to help the city of Juarez, Juarez could once again be the lively city it once was.